So hi everyone, and welcome to our first webinar in a series of events by P2H. I'm your host for today, Andrei Gorbenko. I'm digital marketing lead at P2H. And alongside with me, you will hear today from our exclusive guests, Roman Pavlyuk, Andrei Lashenko, and Konstantin Vlasov, whom you'll meet and hear in a moment. Um, let's move to the next slide. We will. I want pretty much show you that this webinar series is hosted by P2H Group, and P2H Group is a house of brands comprising of Get the Done, a software development company that builds web and digital solutions for marketing agencies and their clients. By P2H Forge, a brand that focuses more on a complex enterprise software development for agencies and ongoing marketing campaigns, and several others. Let's move to the intro to agenda so we can quickly discuss it as well. So during the next hour, you will pretty much hear from our speakers about the practical impact of AI on agencies, impact for their clients and solutions, and pretty much the workflow improvements enabled by the latest advancements. You'll hear also how to plan AI programs, how to define those problems that AI can solve, and how to approach development, manage stakeholder expectations, launch MVPs, how to measure the eventual success of AI solutions, and pretty much measure and manage their further growth. So let me introduce you to Roman Pavlyuk, our board member and chief advisor for digital innovation, to Andrei Lashenko, AI solution architect, and Konstantin Vlasov, our delivery director. Each of them has quite a different perspective on what is working and what is not in AI for marketing agencies. My personal hope that their experience will help you define your own programs, your own products, and your own work that you do for your clients, how to measure those results, how to measure ROI, and how to understand how to measure these programs and use cases in the long run. So during this whole webinar, please share your questions to the speakers to the chat so we can address them in the end of our webinar and pretty much during the Q&A session. And for now, let me pretty much slowly move to the eventual conversation and start it with, I think, both philosophical and practical questions to you, Roman. So if we're reflecting to all of your journey with AI that's been over the years and pretty much all your experience that's been up to date, what would you say why we are placing so much attention on growing AI programs among marketing agencies and businesses today? Why are we having this conversation about the AI impact for marketing, for agencies, and so on? I'll be happy to hear from you and from your experiences.
Well, thank you very much for introduction. I hope you hear me okay and the sound is good because I always have challenges with those earplugs. Anyway, Roman Pavlyuk, I will start with my introduction if I may. So I'm more than 20 plus years in the industry, been holding executive positions in various companies. I'm now leading the digital solution function along with a few of my colleagues, one of the biggest OT or IT companies in the world, whose name is Hitachi. And also, and that's the most important, I'm the BOD and minor shareholder for P2H Group and acting to the company as a digital innovation advisor. And I'm really happy to really share my experience and some of the insights that I'm gathering from the industry with this group, with our fellow guests, and with my colleagues here, because we're going to use this as an opportunity also to have a live discussion, which we also encourage you to join pretty much. And why are we talking about AI? Because everyone is talking about AI. And why are we talking about how to use AI? Because it's not that easy to use AI. And in fact, based on my experience, up to maybe 1 out of 20, if not out of 30 projects are really escaping from lab work and start bringing the value in a way that you expect it to do. And in many cases, and I can tell you my story that happened back in the days in 2018, 2019, when we were really not calling it AI, just the machine learning, is when we decided it was, and I was working in the Middle East at that time, when we decided to run the store assortment, not by the typical analytics or algorithm-based tool, but rather by some cognitive-based tools, right? So it means like the tool that is using some machine learning. So the idea is that instead of having a tons of thousands of rules on which products to place on the shelves, and if you know assortment for the stores is typically about placing the products on the shelves. So what if we do it by some machine learning? And everyone said like, yay, let's do it. And McKinsey created a great kind of analysis for us. They of course they charged us a fortune, around like almost five something $1 million for this whole exercise. And they said like, yeah, it's going to work, guys. Just go do it. We start doing it. And you know what's happened is that we are training the model on the data that we already kind of got insights in. It means like, which products I'm going to put on the shelves. All right, let's scan the transaction log and let's train the system based on what people purchase. We train it, and the system said, okay, what people are buying, you should put on the shelves. And then you say like, well, thanks, Cap. I mean, what people are buying now, I know it's going to be on the shelf because they're buying it. But what kind of can you get any insights for us? And then where we stuck because we kind of we had complete over expectation to this machine learning thing. We were expecting that if we give them what the system knows and what we know already, so if you give the system what we know already, it's gonna be we're gonna get some insights. But that's the thing, we know it already. So in order to give the system something that will provoke it to produce the insights, we have to, go beyond the edge and like really run those experiments. And we have to work with AI in a quite different manner than we expect it to be. So we don't have to we have to think, we cannot think that the AI will solve like instantly everything for us. So this was my first terrible lesson that I learned that you can spend millions and millions and a huge investment, and there was like the whole program cost maybe like I don't know up to $10 million at that time, and was like you can bring the you know top of the world minds, data scientists, and at the end you get like answer in thanks gap style. Um, and at that time, I started to think like, okay, maybe we are approaching AI from different angle. That we should approach AI from different angle, and that angle is what do we call the problem first, right? So we need to build the expectation first. What do we want the technology to bring? We need to bring the problem statement first. It's like, okay, what is my success criteria? What should I see uh, as the solution at the end? Is like how my life is going to change. And the most important thing is why I'm bringing AI as a tool. Is like, what is in this world, in my problem, that I cannot solve, that I have to go to such sophisticated, complicated, and expensive technology as machine learning and AI is. So this was like this last alert. Fortunately, this wasn't my investment, so okay. It wasn't a loss actually. The project continued, but we completely had to reshape it. But it went, as always, went way more expensive than expected to be. But fortunately, I learned that lesson not on kind of on my own investment, but on some other enterprise investment. But that's still a lesson learned, and it was painful. So, long story short, why are we talking about this? Because since 2018, 2019 to 2025, tons of things happen in the world. I mean, AI is like just everywhere, like, popping up and from each and every corner and each and every box. But the problem is still the same. It ends up just with bringing it to solve the problems that are far beyond the expectations, that are way less than, and our expectations are way beyond what the system can do. And as a closing remark to my speech, to my intro speech, is that a couple days ago, I tried to create an agent that will create a list, Microsoft list, was my task. So I wanted like, okay, I'm gonna write a chat in Microsoft Teams just, oh, I'm working on this task, I'm responsible for it, I have to complete it by that date, and I'm touching this, and that business unit. And I was expecting that it will fill in the predefined list on a SharePoint. And um, it took me some time still to configure it. So, and it was like the agent is working, but it's not as I not that brilliant as expect this to be. And the reason is that I tried to do it myself. If I brought somebody from this brilliant team, probably they would have done it better. But what I learned is it's still not as kind of as cognitive, as intelligent as you might think. So, and I'm really happy that we're discussing it today, because there is a way actually to make the full use of it. Because I'm telling you like a negative stories, like, terrible stories, but I'm telling you there's things that we should avoid. So, and how actually make those things work, how actually make AI work. So that's why we're talking about this.
Absolutely, and I can relate to that on so many levels because the technology itself has been already for quite a few years, even a decade. And I can recall like studying at summer schools and studying how AI can pretty much solve some specific either classification problems or like content generation problems as well. So the Gen AI technology has been already there. It's just the fact that the tools pretty much appeared, emerged, and they pretty much democratized the whole usage of AI. And that's pretty much how the whole reality changed after it started to be available to pretty much everyone. Thanks for sharing that, Roman. I'm now curious, and I wanted to also give a word to Andrew, to you, pretty much. And I wanted to hear your technical standpoint, how you perceive it from the technical challenges from your previous work with AI, and how do you see the whole marketing and agency and agentic AI world, how it evolves right now. And also, please also give a couple of words about yourself.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. So, as Andrei already said, I am Andrei Lashenko. So, and I'm AI solution architect at P2H Forge. So, and so my job is pretty simple. I help agencies like you figure out how to actually survive and grow. Yeah, and in my opinion, we're now like in the middle of one of the biggest disruptions our industry has ever seen. Yeah, so and science as ChatGPT dropped their the public access to LLM, to the AI, so it actually changed everything. So and as Roman already mentioned it, so AI like existed before, so it's like
Before
uh,
ChatGPT, yeah.
yeah, before any knowing the names of today, like the other LLM providers, the and other stuff, and it's a part of like the big story of the machine learning and so on. So, and of course, this story impacts everything, that we now see, and actually experiencing. So, and like AI isn't actually just another tool that makes things a little faster, or better or worse. So it's like again, in my opinion, so it's reshaping the ground we stand on. Yeah, so that unlocks so many opportunities, and at the same time, it brings so many pain. Yeah, so. And that's, I believe, the perfect time to discuss and discover, some approaches and how actually we, as the company that many years in this market, can help and actually try to at least uh, uh, bring to you some ideas, how actually is not like lose this chance at this moment, and jump into this train. So and so the clients actually often asking like the tough questions. So yeah, like especially when there is like some requests from their clients, yeah, that they experiencing these days, like why we should I don't know, like rely on you, on your services, because there's like ChatGPT we can open, ask, and it actually provide us with the ready solution. So yeah, and why we actually should trust you, because I like texted with ChatGPT last night, and it's like tells me totally different story, yeah, and so on. So that's so many funny things happens now, yeah, and we as a company so experiencing it as well, yeah, and I hope we like uh today show you some cases, yeah, if we have enough time, I hope so, how we helped our clients, yeah, to actually deal with some problems that they experienced. So, and regarding the whole narrative of the AI agents that you may heard from like any corner, yeah, as Roman already said. So we we like often now like starting conversation with clients with those like modern words like AI agents, like augmentation, some kind of the data enrichment, yeah, and so on and so forth. And often, like at the end of the story, we're back to main things like what actually the data you own. Yeah, can you trust this data that you own? So the insights itself is not like possible to distill from the data that you are not trusting of, or if there is no data completely, and so on. So I mean, we always should think about some foundation, and I hope we also have a chance to discuss it today, or maybe Roman also will share more information regarding that. So
For sure.
yeah, I think that's it for now from my side. Yeah, and thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I think one of the most difficult parts is choosing the right use case for pretty much building AI around it. So, and then like not praising AI probably like the ultimate tool, but just a tool how that gives more opportunity to solve a specific problem, improve specific metric, and so on. All right, good. Thank you a lot. Last but not least, Kostya, I'm passing the word to you. You're the more like working with the agencies on the daily basis, and you feel pretty much you see the challenges, you see the pain which they encounter every day. What do you see? What's your experience with the AI? And just share your story.
Thank you. Hi everyone, I'm Konstantin, delivery director at GetItDone, and nowadays my work is spinning around processes, project deadlines, and delivering results to our clients. And in every second request, I hear the word AI. So we're here to figure out when it helps us and our clients, when it brings new opportunities, and when AI directly threatening the work and our clients. So I will try to be the voice of my clients today by asking several questions from them and ensure we connect this powerful AI knowledge that Raman hopefully will provide to our day-to-day reality of proving the value for our clients. So thank you for joining, and I'm glad to be here with you. Back to you, Andrei.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, without no further ado, let's begin with the slides. Let's move to the next one. And I think Roman, the word is back to you. Let's pretty much begin.
We actually discussed this already. It's and I even gave you the idea of my personal story when the investment, which was almost like more than 10 mil, in a quite sophisticated tool. It ended up with the result, by the way. So I cannot say this project wasn't wasted and it start bringing the benefits. But we made so many circles around. So this thing was like 4 times more expensive than it should have been. And a lot of actually waste went of different kind of POCs and then productization. As I said, I will just quickly recap it. The problem is that we are unfortunately jumping into AI adoption, skipping that expectation and business analysis part, which we should do, and thinking that it's actually no matter what we should use AI. There are many use cases where AI is not applicable, but when AI is applicable, and we are talking about the agencies now. So, and I have a very good visualization on next slide, which is like really, what does AI mean for agencies? What does AI mean for us at all? So why are we doing this? We do this to augment the cognitive functions of a human, which we cannot sustain on a scale. Now let me digest this powerful statement. So AI is usable when I have a series of repeatable operations where human cannot reaches their limit. For example, with one of the companies that I was involved with, we were using artificial intelligence, but rather as a machine learning. It's all actually machine learning, as you might guess, to a certain extent, but to do a micro adjustments to these to the equipment settings. When I say micro adjustments, are like really increasing and decreasing the power of different equipment by a fraction, and then monitoring the feedback and seeing, for example, if there's what kind of a impact it has on the environment. For example, you might decrease the power of the heater by 2%, by 3, by 5%. Then you monitor how is the temperature going down in the facility, and if it's almost not going down because of difference, because insulation is still keeping up and so on, you start getting the power, you start saving the electricity, the resources. But you can do it like very frequently, like as soon as you see, oh, actually we have a temperature decrease, you can increase this. And it's all in very cognitive way. And you can do those micro adjustments like literally thousands per hour, like tons of switches and gauges and everything. Human cannot do it. I mean, unless you put like 50 people and they will have to communicate with each other. So you cannot keep up with this. And also things like if you go to other sectors like energy and energy sector, you have now those renewables that you have to plug them in and out from the network in order to have the network stable. So it doesn't happen like it happened in Spain in April. You probably heard about this blackout incident. Again, you have to do so many switching and adjustment operations per hour, per minute, per second that the human cannot do it. But who can do it? It's AI is going to do it. So that's in general. But now going to the agencies. There are lots of things that we do like in content management, also those kind of micro adjustments. When we do a kind of a data mining of like some kind of content discovery, when we do any kind of a real-time adjustments of the content that we have on a website based on events, progress based on different things happening. For example, you might have a event, you might have a campaign, but at the same time you have a website, so you want to have like a quick adjustment of the content between all those three things that you really provide the adequate information on your website. Can human do it? Well, to a certain extent, yes, but then we have every one of us has limits. Can we do it repeatably, successfully? No. Can we use AI for that? Yes. But so that's when you form the problem statement, because we spoke about the problem statement as a key thing, right? So to start using AI is think about what are those limitations that you have as a human, that if you didn't have it, for example, you could do like thousands of different intelligent things per hour, per minute, per seconds, but small ones, but a lot of them. What would be the impact on your business? Like, what if you can have like a really what if you can change the content of your website or your content of your front page or your event page in a matter of minutes instead of doing it in a matter of hours? What if you can predict how the keywords being searched and and how the campaign is running, and then based on like the report you get from Google almost in real time, or any other type of advertising platforms, you can do an adjustment in the real time of the content on your web page. What if you can have this? But again, small adjustments, micro adjustments, but like very frequent. So think about that. And this is where actually, and this is where at P2H, based on our experience, this is where we see the benefit of AI, not really replacing the human. Again, as most people think, oh, let's do something revolutionary with AI. Let's create a chatbot that will just, we're going to ask him a question, or her, or it, whatever, depending how you, what gender you allocate to this thing. And it's going to be answered. If you just use this up to this point, it's going to be a failure. Think about those things that you cannot do as a human, but you really, really need to do. And think about small things, not something like, what if I have the agent which is going to be creating the whole website for me? No, it's going to be a failure, I'm telling you. But think about those small things, and this is where you're going to get some benefit. So that's the lesson learned, is like, what does this mean for specifically for agencies and their profiles like we have here today? Guys, maybe you have some objections, maybe you have some opinions.
Roman, may I ask, what does it mean for an agency, the AI solution? Is it a big, beautiful platform, or is it more smaller, targeted tools that improve the specific tasks?
I'd go for the second option rather than the first one. And maybe not even like tools. It might be it's the instrument. It's your assistant. It's your digital assistant that does well-defined thing that you already have defined as a part of your process, as part of your portfolio, but you've been just doing this either manually, or you've never been able to do it effectively just because of the limitation of human capability. So if I was to choose, I'm probably going to choose the option number 2, and it's like based on my experience. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Sorry, because this is what I wanted to mention. That's where we are actually returning back to basics, because we are now talking in most cases about some kind of automatization. And we need to think like about what's the basic needs and things inside where AI can be applied to amplify something. So that's the case, and this is what we often also like do before we actually like start any development.
So AI won't take someone's job, at least for now.
It won't. And well, it's like I always joke that you either use AI or AI is using you. So you can be only in 2 states, unfortunately, because that's the reality. But as soon as you learn using AI things, it's not just AI, but like all things that it's actually implementing AI. It can be those LLMs or agents or even this categorization type of solutions and other things. Well, if you know how to use them efficiently, again, so you're never going to run out of options, at least as we see it right now. But yes, there was any question? No.
We can move on. Yeah,
we should move. We should move on. Well, we spoke about this, I think, like how we can play with it, different kind of predictions, but I will just want to emphasize 2 more important things. Is these repeatable research, and which AI can help you, because despite that, when you run, for example, any kind of query, you ask ChatGPT for it, you get different results one way or another. But moreover, it's way more repeatable and way more structured than the human is doing, than the live human, than not non-artificial, but rather natural intelligence is doing, which we human are. So when you do a research, and again, you want to notice those small fluctuations, this is where you can use machine learning for, because you can train it. Basically, it's going to be an agent to which you said that, hey, pay attention to this, and that thing, and I'll make sure that it's always there, and it will keep it there. Which you as a human can make mistakes. So those repeatable research and assistance in like preparing the content, especially researching the content, is the way to go. And one more thing is, of course, different kind of compliance checks. And compliance is a really, really annoying thing. And so AI itself is of compliance, is subject for compliance, but you can really check the compliances with help of AI engine. So that's where you can apply. So right among those cases, this is where you can use you can find the application for AI. And so, of course, personalization, different kind of content management, different kind of analytics. Yeah, it's we already know this. I'm not going to go to this, but just want to emphasize those two things. And this thing is not mentioned on the slide, but I want to mention this. Keep in mind that you can use agent to make those small yet quite frequent adjustments. And you can also use AI to measure the impact. It's not like the standard. You make an action, you measure the feedback loop, you repeat. So you're gonna be in the center of this loop, but you can use the agent. It's like, can you increase the whatever? I mean, can you put a few more commas on the website, and can you put like two more images, and can you also observe the attendance, the number of visitors on the website, and see if there are more visitors, and then you do a correlation, and then you do like, oh, can we add a few more words, like can you reduce the mentions of AI on our website, for example, and see how it reacts, how the audience is reacting. So you get this feedback. So agent can help you a lot with that. So you do make those micro adjustment, analyze, and the cycle repeats. So keep that in mind. So it's very, 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 very beneficial as well. So that's about those things. And now typical challenges and typical issues that we hit, typical walls that we try to break when we do an AI. And there was actually a very nice report published by a company called Kung Fu AI. So you can Google them and find. So they do a lot of AI research. They do a lot of AI consultants in the companies out of Austin, Texas, and from this famous Silicon Hills. And a lot of people who've been like doing machine learning in different companies in the area, especially like Google and Microsoft and other folks, they joined this company and they found it, and then they do a lot of research. And so I was invited to their close kind of a webinar where they've been presenting is like why actually we know AI as you know it, and the first why AI is too expensive. So I told you my story why AI is too expensive, because in my case that I was involved, it was the complete misexpectation. Right. So AI will always be too expensive for you if you try to, hammering the nails with actually golden hammer, which you can still do, but it's going to be an expensive thing. So that's what we do in many cases. So we didn't also do, and this is very important, we didn't do the analysis if the data we have is the data we can get insights from. And again, this is the number one problem which makes AI too expensive, because we think, oh, well, if I want to optimize assortment in my store, I already have the transaction data, so what can go wrong? I mean, I have 1 terabyte, or I have 3 terabytes of transaction data on my storage. I mean, I can just, run I will develop the model, we'll feed the whole data to it, and we'll run the whole thing through it, we'll do the training, and voila, something should happen, because look, I have terabytes, petabytes of data. Things cannot go wrong. The problem is that the data you have might not have enough, we call this entropy, right? So that this this unexpectancy or instability that can give you some insights. And we're going to talk about this further, and I believe Andrei will touch it, but at P2H, we actually do this data analysis before we start implementing AI. We analyze, does data have enough this entropy? Is it high enough so you can really get insights from it? Like you said, if you want to know which products to put on the shelves, and you run the transactions from stores that people already been buying from the same shelves, you're going to get the same results. Like, just keep things as they are on the shelves. That's it. That's all. That's what machine learning will tell you. So this is what makes AI too expensive at first place. The second challenge is that not all the projects they get out of the lab. And 1 out of 20, 1 out of 30, and we've seen it on the previous slide, and I can recall this. They are not getting out of the lab because they were not intended to be as a product. So because unfortunately we were building AI instead of the product, and we didn't have this problem statement and set and the expectation set. And the third thing around it is that it's very complicated. I mean, I'm telling you, to build an AI-based product consumer ready, because you have a lot of things that you have to solve, like user interface. Okay, how are you going to interface with the model? You can do it in a chatbot format. That's the easiest one. But is every use case is going to end up as chat, like chatting with this LLM? No, maybe not. Then how? How to retrain the model? How to keep continuously feeding the data? Like, how can I, as a consumer, can also act as a hidden trainer, right? As we know, it's so because as you interact with the agent, I mean, you can keep training it. But how to do it? How to organize the use case? It's a really challenging thing. So not always is being thought. So when you did the model in the lab, it works perfectly. It's like you did some test, you loaded some test data, you loaded some test cases. It shows the result. But now, how to take this to the user is like it's quite complicated. So this is where things get challenging. And as I said, so compliance is the third thing here that I want to emphasize, is that this is this privacy versus personalization dilemma, right? So it's like, oh, I want my user to have like everything personalized as much as I can, but I cannot extract from my user any single bit of data more than I'm allowed to, and usually you're allowed a fraction. And that's the problem. So, and use, again, if we're going to turn back to the expectations, you put very high expectations that, oh, my system's going to do that. And then you finally realize that because of the compliance, you can barely scratch the surface because you're not allowed to go left and right. And that's where you fail. So unfortunately, these are things that I know from my experience, from my background. But maybe Andrei or Kostya, you have a different perspective on this. Maybe you have a different point of view.
I have a question first. I know that clients do pilots all the time. And from your experience, when a pilot fails, for what is the primary reason of that? Is it lack of process, incorrect data, lack of budget, or anything else?
Well, it's actually a very good question, because a pilot that has failed, I think it's a terrible sign, because before you get to the pilots, you should know that that A, you have enough data entropy. So it means like you're going to get insights from your data. So you did the data analysis, checked. Or maybe you didn't. Well, that's also, the case. Then you did do, before even you start checking the data, you did the problem statement and you did the expectations. So checked. Or maybe you didn't. And only after those two things, you get to the pilot. So knowing like, okay, I have all the data that I will get the insights. And usually it's a work of data scientists and AI architects, like Andrew is doing this. And when you do the problem statements, it's really the work of product managers and business analysts. And so we also have like a question, Andrew doing this, I'm doing this as well. So now we passed through this, and then we went to the pilot, and pilot is failing, means like it's not delivering any value. So it's either we choose the AI as a like overkill technology, or we did the previous two stages in the wrong way. So for example, there's actually data has no insights. We thought it is. And sometimes we are just so eager, to this, oh, AI is going to be like, AI will solve things magically once and forever. So it's data is fine, just keep going. So we didn't pay much attention to this. So a failing pilot, to me, is a sign that the previous stages were not conducted in the right manner, and that's a bad sign, so, to be honest. And yeah, I mean, you can fail this technologically. I mean, you can choose the wrong model. You can decide to go with like wrong LLM. You might have you can use a too small LLM, which is unfortunately too dumb to do certain things. You might choose like you may start building the requests that are using too many tokens, and the system is like cannot sustain this whole load. I mean, could be, but I think that's from my point of view. But we have a architect here with us, Andrei, so you might have a different opinion on that, why pilots are failing.
Yeah, actually not really, and for most things that you already mentioned, so I totally agree. And yeah, what I see, so first of all, there is no magic button, yeah, for anything that you do. If it's the proof of concept, if that's, I don't know, some mature pilot that you want to build, or I don't know, even some MVP, yeah. Different stages, that's not the real case, but what I can share with you, yeah, and what I often see from the cases, yeah, that we already like finalized for some agencies, yeah, where we see some the proven success. So it's that when agencies stop actually treating data as a byproduct, yeah, or something that outsource it to a dozen of third-party tools, yeah, and when they start treating it, let's say, as infrastructure, yeah, when they add more data sources to actually improve that entropy, yes. Because, and as you already mentioned, so some things like analyzing, I don't know, 10 data sources, correlating this data, enrich this data, yeah, and try to find the patterns, that's very hard for any person in that world to do, yeah. So this is where AI can be useful, yeah, because those data can be actually distilled and organized in a right way, and some patterns can be extracted by teaching some AI agents, yeah, like incorporating some logic that we are looking for, or even if we have no idea how to treat this data, there is always some room for us here to actually implement some kind of agents that can constantly analyze this data in the loop, extract something, yeah, we build some dashboard, and then we as a like human in the loop, yeah, approach, so can visually see this data, then back to our agents, improve the logic algorithm, yeah, and then like conduct this um, extraction of some insights, the second round and another round and so on. So, and this is where we spend more time. Yeah, so we are like have no idea at the beginning if adding more data sources can be beneficial. Yeah, but after some rounds of improvements, some round of like the data analyzing visually even, so then we can have some clue. Yeah, and then actually some insights is actually appear. Yeah, so and this is the good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, Andre, if I may, you brought interesting thing. It's like how to increase this entropy, like how to disrupt the data more. And I can tell you how we saved that project, this 10 mil thing, is when we start getting those like thank you cap type of outcomes from this thing, then I said, look, let's disrupt the system and see and observe the reaction, and let's train the model to kind of make a decision based on the reaction of the market. So what I mean, we did this assortment. I said, look, let's try doing this. Let's try putting in those stores. And actually, that's a good slide. Like, let's go there. This because it's related to the outcomes. So let's try in those selected stores, add products from this category, and then remove few products from the other category. Let's then see how our revenue, how our sales going, like the average bucket size, the basket size, and all those other things from retail, how this reacts. And then so if you see that, for example, by increasing this type of categories, we have increase in revenue. By decreasing those products in the store, we get increase of revenue, which might happen as well. And by replacing this product by this product. So we start to disrupt the system, like you said, Andre. And then we start training the model to, okay, if you see this kind of a 10, for example, if you see the decrease of this kind of products and increase the revenue, so you probably recommend this to do in the similar stores. And systems start making the recommendations, and that's how it start making the value. But it wasn't a quick win. It wasn't a quick win, unfortunately. Because when we built this, and there was a 24 months long program, so it was a very long run. When we build such a long program, we should account for quick wins. And I always emphasizing this, that you should present to your customer a visible result. Again, your customer or your internal customer, or you might be, consumer, a visible result. And we usually say the quick win is like in 90 days after we completed the pilot, because pilot is a part of the elaboration phase, right? So it's not a usable product in most cases. So that's why we are insisting in those small things. That company, that retailer, they opened their mouths too widely, and they were like struggling chewing the things that I tried to chewing and swallowing things that they bitten. But in marketing agencies and as smaller businesses, we have a privilege because we can, bite and chew with smaller pieces. And I always recommend that despite we might go through the like, okay, we're gonna move our content management to AI completely. It's great, like wonderful intent. But make sure that even if it's 18 months roadmap, make sure that in the month 2, something will be visible. As for example, you will have like I don't know, analytics automated, or you will have like keywords management assistant. Again, I'm just guessing things because but this is something like this. So short-term quick wins is a super important thing. And this is actually what we do at B2H when we do AI implementation. We really, really ensure that within a short period of time, you're going to get those quick wins. And again, it's not going to be a revolutionary change, but it will be a tangible, visible result that that you see that we are moving in the right direction. There's a still slight chance that after some time, I mean, after this quick win time, we are not going to get any benefits. So, and then it's a fail fast, fail cheap thing comes into play. It's better than running this whole 18 months program and then finding out like, oops, it's not working. But still, I mean, keep that long-term horizon. We use this word horizons, right? So horizon 1, 2, 3, 4, which means like when horizon 3 and 4 is like a ultimate innovation type of a horizon. Define it, and we define it, and then we do this. We do define the success criteria for this, and we track it as we approach it, and we measuring like, are we approaching this horizon? So that's how we kind of demonstrate the results with AI, how we make them visible, and so it's not just about like, oh, we purchased the license for ChatGPT for our employees, done. Our AI implementation is done. Check. So it's not. So that's what we try to avoid.
For sure, and it's I think one of the most crucial things to plan both for short and for long term, and pretty much have a specific metrics that help you to define the wins and define how the project goes. We're slightly behind the schedule, so let's move on. Let's proceed because I really want to get also to the AI use cases and to highlight some of them. So let's proceed with the further slides.
This is the section I've been waiting for that explains how.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead. That's your domain.
Question.
Yeah. Please start, Salman.
No, I mean,
So-
you can just introduce it from your standpoint. So the
Yeah,
budget control, because totally the budgets are not unlimited for any AI program, and you definitely feel how it might be painful for agencies around this. So share your experience.
Sure. We at the first step mentioned here, cloud and compute, we always have the budget question. How can we control these costs so that our bills won't run wild? So, and sometimes we don't have and at the day one the answer to this question. So if you guys have any idea what's the minimum we should start from to control this, that would be great.
As I said, I believe that the cornerstone here is the data and also the problem, right? So this is like, as soon as you have those two things defined, then you can elaborate further, because if the data doesn't bring any value, then there's like this whole thing's going to be wasted. I'm telling you as it is, and wasted if you don't acknowledge that. Because if you do the analysis and then you acknowledge, and we can jump to the slide 13, which is like over next one, which has this information. So Andrei, two slides forward. Two slides forward. And one more.
And the next one. Yeah.
Perfect. So it's like how to actually save your costs. I mentioned this already, but it's like problem statement and data feasibility study, and then we jump into pilot. And so if you've done this, you're gonna like really, if you get no as the answer at this stage, you're already gonna have a significant cost reduction, because you're simply not gonna waste money. Also, by doing so, by choosing the right, knowing how visible the data is, you might choose the right platform. You're gonna have the data, run the data against. You may go as far as Microsoft Fabric, for example, which is quite complex and expensive thing, or you can do as easy as just deploying some local on-prem LLM, which will make you cheaper, but again with all the downsides. But again, it might still be a solution for you. So that's where how you can avoid the cost leaks. Remember, there was on those previous slide was infrastructure, it was mentioned. So that's how you can save the cost infrastructure. And we take this everything into account, because when we go to the really next slide, Anton, I kindly ask you to go to the next visual aid. Yes, so this is like how we actually do things, how we make them happen is that we start with this process analysis, which is a very important thing, and then we, define and validate the hypothesis. It's all done through like, major assumptions is like, okay, and assumptions and actually major goals. It's like, what do you want to achieve? Are you want to, save costs, or you want to have the opportunity growth with your solution? And so this is what we do at the beginning. So this is what we call this discovery that we do at the start. And then we give you this answer, yes or no. So once we have this process, once we have that approach implemented, I wouldn't use the word guarantee, but we try to optimize the cost and the financial impact and the investment impact as much as we can. So that's like requested to be like, to simplify this to as much as we can. That's how it looks like. So again, we're going back to the roots, to the preconditions. Because despite no matter how wonderful technology is, the problem precedes the, strategy precedes execution, and the problem precedes the solution. So there's a no silver bullet. It's all classic.
This slide actually brings one not very comparable question. If the answer can be no, AI won't help here, but the clients really want it. So how can we approach this in order to not lose the trust and relationship?
Well, if someone wants to build AI just for the sake of AI, let's help the person building AI for the sake of AI. But we have to be on the same page in this and acknowledge this. But still, it's always fair to ask the question, and you see here the stakeholder interview, right? It's like, really, why are you intending doing this? It's like, why? Maybe because they say, okay, if you build this on AI, we're gonna get this round B or Series B investment. Maybe, and that's fine. Well, that's good. Maybe they need it for something else. So even if they insist, okay, no matter what, there has to be an AI, just find why this intent is there. And by knowing this, you can really, benefit it. And then you can, with your technology skills, you can maneuver, making sure that, you put some guardrails, which will not allow to, things falling out and go wild. Like, the bills for data processing go wild, for the LLMs go wild, and you have like, unlimited number of tokens consumed, and then your bills is like crazy. So in this case, yeah, I mean, but still, talk to the people, talk to stakeholders, talk to end clients, and that's like, why do you insist on this? What's the benefit? And follow it. I mean, it's quite obvious thing.
Exactly, that's a good point. And from my perspective, the questions like where your client is less efficient, or your product, or where are you losing money, can be the starting ones, instead of what AI should we choose or buy.
Yep, you're right. So we have still maybe a few seconds to just take a brief look on some use cases that we were bringing. So Andrei, over to you.
Yeah, so considering that we are running out of the time, so I propose to go directly to the next one, because I believe this one is more interested, so in my opinion. But yeah. Yeah, that was one client of us of P2H, so that we helped with a solution. So they acquired a tool, actually a company, so that at the end of the story was fully reintegrated in their existed product. So they own a CRM system that they use for their own management team, and also allow their clients to use it for some kind of reporting. and so on. So, but a couple words about the of the client. So they are agency that work in affiliate market. So and they help their clients with strategies and analysis. So at the end, yeah, they provide their clients with a kind of reports and some action points. Yeah, what how to enhance their affiliate strategies, which partners they should reach, yeah, to improve their positions, to like grow the product distribution, yeah, and other stuff. So and their clients, yeah, of this agency. So often like reach back client and with a question, so to help them like correlate their publishers, yeah, in affiliate world, the companies that helps you, yeah, to like sell your products, pitch and promote your products. They're calls the publishers. So, and the client started like by researching the market if there's some existed product, yeah, that they can employ to help their management team with that request. So, and they tested a couple of them. The one product they actually like started some kind of integration, as I remember. So, but at the end, the amount, the volume, yeah, of these searches, so actually grew very fast. So, and the price was not really like they was not really satisfied. So, and that's, I don't know, as as I see, that was a brilliant idea, is to actually like connect with the owners of that company, yeah, and they actually like made that deal. So they acquired that company. So instead of like paying each month some price, I have no idea what was like the price for that deal, but I assume that was a good one. So especially for the client that they decided to do that. Yeah. So and so what the actually tool we are talking about? So they that was a combination of other like third-party tools as a data sources. For example, the Google search itself, the SEMrush, that CO2 for like scanning internet here to find some insights about the websites, especially, yeah, the websites. So their statistics, how many visitors per day, yeah, how many backlinks they have, and other stuff. So, and there are a set of such tools that they use it to actually recognize if some the website owner can be a good partner for some of their affiliate clients. Yeah, so they have a set of clients that like wanted to promote their products and find some parties, yeah, who actually can do it for them for some shared, yeah, piece of the cost. Yeah, so the classic affiliate so thing. And this tool was rebuilt from scratch. So by the team, yeah, that at PTH. So and we added more data sources there. So, and at the end, that tool become actually the main one of the tools that they use it day by day. So, and that's the actually the story about, yeah, like they started doing it manually. So as client shared, yeah, initially, so their managers started doing that like manually using some third-party tools. Yeah, then they partnered with some of the tools that they picked and love it. So then they decided to actually like rebuild this from scratch, acquired this company. To be honest, I don't really like have any information what was the real reason why they decided. But at this moment, this company that they acquired is not existed. Yeah, they like completely shut down the service. So and we enhanced the service itself by introducing more tools, adding that data sources allowed the management team to like have more leverages, yeah, and see the statistic and analytics about potential publishers. They correlated which affiliate client, the merchant, yeah, is best fit to which publisher. Then they contacted this publisher, yeah, with some proposal, and back to merchant with some like also some kind of proposal. So like they see there is some sort of potential websites, yeah, the channels. Yeah, I know that they also collected the data about YouTube channels, the TikTok as well. So, and that was the story about, that's fully like showed the whole path, yeah, from like the problem, they actually how they started working with that. They seen this the value that could be actually extracted from that tools. So, and then they even decided to like create their own tool. So, but again, at the end, I cannot say that we moved even 20% of the features that those platform contains. So again, most of things was built from scratch. So, but again, that's not the main part of the story. But anyway, so that's a fun fact about that. So yeah, so
Good.
that's one of the cases actually what we work with. So
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm super sorry that we have to start to wrap it up and we couldn't like invest more time into the use cases. I have the very last questions to you guys before we finish it and pretty much we can move on. What would you say like the first steps that a smaller agency should take to begin their own AI program or like build their own solution? What would you say the three main first steps could be in this case?
I can handle this and I can, say it quickly. So
Go ahead.
identify those small problems, small daily challenges. See what you would like to do, but you cannot do it as a human. Just simply as this. Again, back to those small problems. And let's look around, like really quickly, look around. It's like what data you have that you can start feeding to the system and to AI that in the future you're gonna maybe use AI. And yeah, and so that's going to be the first jump start of using effectively. Again, on a site, of course, you can purchase the license to each and every person in the team in the company saying that, hey, we are now AI enabled company. It's okay, fine, do it. But I suggest you think about those three things at the beginning.
Right. Thank you. Excellent. Um, I'm I'm feel a bit guilty that I have to start wrapping up the whole session with you guys. It really feels like the whole topic is so deep and so complex and so various with the use cases that you can implement that we definitely need like the part two for that. But anyway, thanks everyone who has been with us during this discussion. Thank you Konstantin, thank you, Andres, thank you, Roman, for sharing your experience, your feelings and takes about how agencies work right now with this. I encourage everyone who has been with us to subscribe to our LinkedIn account for Get Dev Done and for P2H, and to follow up for the next upcoming events that will be around technology, that will be around delivery, the life of agencies, and how we pretty much can also build solutions for clients and for everyone. Again, thank you for such an insightful conversation. Thank you for your time and for your experience shared. It was a very good session today. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
you.
you,
Take
guys.
care,
Yeah.
Thank you.
have a great
Have a
rest of the
good-
day. See you, everyone.
Yeah, have a good day. Yeah, bye.
Bye-bye.